Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Side Quest Contact. This is going to be part 21 of our Let's Make an Adventure series. So, for the first 20 episodes of this series, we worked through essentially Act 1. Right, we came up with some contacts, ally NPC characters that the player characters are going to be encountering and getting wrapped up in their scenarios. So we came with three pretty good stories that kind of link together and are made to get our characters into what's happening. Now, once they've wrapped up those three scenarios, and again, that's not something that needs to happen one at a time. It could be together concurrently, but once they're at a point where the objectives are met, they've reached the end of those scenarios, we think about transitioning into Act Two, and and how we transition to Act Two really varies. It really depends on where the players are at when they've kind of wrapped up their stuff for Act One. Depending on where they're at, when all that is concluded, we can decide how we're going to introduce the next elements to or the Act Two elements into the story. So, what are these Act Two elements? Well, we've talked before about a false ally. And Act Two is where I like to bring in this false ally, someone who's going to be presenting themselves as a helpful benefactor and ally for the players, but at some point they do turn against the players. Now we came up with this foundation for that character when we were making our characters, our foundations. So we had a centaur paladin, right? A noble centaur who had a forbidden love, right? This forbidden love is a Githzari noble who was visiting the world, and they got together, but it's not really a feasible relationship since one lives out in the astral plane, one is a woodland sylvan creature from the Prime or the Feywild, depending on where this character is going to come from, and but this forbidden love gets taken by our were tiger. Another victim getting taken by this were tiger. So visited this world a few years ago, fell in love with the splendid centaur paladin, and was forbidden to come back home. Uh, so had to return back to this world. Got infected by the were tiger at that point. And our centaur paladin might plead to our characters for assistance in rescuing the Gazari. So we have this character we're going to think about, and another character that's going to be more prominent is our lieutenant, the antagonist's lieutenant, the wizard. Now the players have already gotten an encounter with her when with the Frangruza scenario, going out into the jungle, finding the missing gnome sister, I think it was, yeah, and then that wizard is going to attack. We don't have the were tiger introduced yet. Now, likely that wizard probably fled the scene. The players, even though she's a third level wizard, we have a group of first level players, and she may be able to hold her own for a little bit, but she's likely to flee, and she has all the capabilities, skills, and magics to get out safely to be, to harass the players later. And oh, it's also important to note that by now our players are level two. Once they've wrapped up that final bit of the last scenarios in Act One, we can level them up. And now for these Act Two situations, they're going to need to be a level higher. All right, so let's start off by making this character, this centaur noble paladin who's under the oath of devotion. All right, let's go to tools. And we're just going to put in Centaur Paladin for the moment. This is going to be Centaur. Description. Going to be noble. And again, for languages, I usually fill those in as I need them during roleplay. If I need this character to speak a certain language, I can just, oh yeah, they speak this language. But do it how you like. Let's say tool proficiencies, gaming set. Let's go cards. Another language. Okay. All right. So what do we get for being a centaur? Oh, we get something here. Natural affinity. What's this? Your fate connection to nature gives you an intuitive connection to the natural world and the animals within. You therefore have proficiency in one of the following skills. Okay, so how about we pick nature? Let's do survival. All right, class. Now we're going to paladin. It's going to be level 2. All right, proficiencies. Let's do athletics and let's do persuasion. Oh, wait a minute. We already got persuasion because being a noble. Then let's do insight. Let me go back and double check and make sure persuasion's still there. We'll see. All right, anyway. Fighting style. So we have a centaur. How's a centaur paladin going to fight? Protection. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll if you're wielding a shield. Okay. Spell casting, divine smite. Cool. All right. Abilities. Well, first, let me go back. Spell casting. What do they need? Charisma. Okay. All right. Standard array. Just keep it simple for the NPCs. Again, this is something you can do however you choose. All right. So what do we need? We're going to have strength. We're going to have charisma. We're going to say pretty high constitution. Let's say some wisdom, dexterity, intelligence. And I think this is the standard 2-1 option, so let's do one in strength, two in wisdom. There we go. Alright, equipment for paladins. Martial weapon and a shield. Two martial weapons. Yeah, we want a shield. Martial weapon. Someone, centaur. Let's do a scimitar. That sounds cool. 5 javelins. Let's have some javelins. So we can throw at a distance if we need to. Priest pack, explorers pack. Let's do an explorers pack. Chainmail and holy symbol. How about an amulet? That sounds good. Okay. And add equipment. Alright, let's go equip our equipment. Chainmail, javelin, scimitar, shield. Ooh, 18 armor class on a centaur. Okay. What's a centaur? Okay, good. 40. I was wondering what that would be. Yeah, 40. Being horse-like. Okay. Spells. Spells. Where's our spells? Okay, let's manage spells. Well, you get 2 first level slots. Known spells. Okay. Prepared spells. 1 through 3. 0 to 3. Okay. Okay, now, since this is a false ally, we kind of want a mix, right? We want a mix of spells that are the character can use for the players and against the players. So for the players, Cure Wounds is always good because they'll probably be fighting together, so they can do Cure Wounds. What else? Let's see. Ooh, how about Searing Smite? Bonus action. Concentration up to a minute. Next time you hit a creature with a melee attack during the spell's duration, your weapon flares up. Okay, yeah, let's get that. Searing Smite. And let's do Bless. Okay, so we have the character sheet. Now let's flesh out the character. I think we're at a spot as far as we were going. I think we can do a odd even split for the gender. So let's do that. Male evens female. Okay, so we have a male centaur paladin. Let's go see. There's a good portrait for that. Oops, wrong way. Come on, no, go this way. They just have this one standard portrait. I see. Well, since most of these are headshots and busts, we could probably just pick one. Probably an elven-looking male. So we can find one that's a little armored up. Ah, here we go. What is that? Oh well, there we are. There's our centaur paladin. Now, name. We need a name. Okay, so something holy sounding, something sylvan sounding. How about? All right. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck, so we'll come back to that. All right. So Centaur Paladin. That's what we'll call him for now. Okay. So this is the false ally. So let's go back to Act 2. So we have the false ally. We also have reappearance of the wizard, the lieutenant, and I also like to come up with some other monster-based event scenario to try to kind of connect everything together. So let's go find something like that. Let's go back to tools and encounters, and then all right, we close that, and let's bump the minimum up to 1/2. No, 1/4. We're going to keep the maximum still at 1, because even though the players are second level, like challenge rating 1 is still pretty tough somehow. Yeah, because yeah, like a brass dragon, for example, or a wormling dragon. All right, so let's get rid of dragon. Okay, and let's see. Let's go get a monster type. 20. There's not 20 options, so we'll skip it. There's not 17 options, so we'll skip it. Ah, 4. Okay. 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Construct. Ooh. Something perhaps our wizard created. Quadrone, Scarecrow, Animated Horrors, Animated Halberds, Carionets, Clockwork Bronze Scout. Little too obvious. Well, let's take a look just to see. Yeah, this has got to be something kind of more subtle. Yeah. I mean, for some other type of scenario, but not this one. Guardian Portrait, Metal Wisps, Metallic Warbler. Let's look at Flying Sword. That might be the better option. A small construct, unaligned. Speed, flying to 50, can hover. Immune to a bunch of stuff. Itself's got 17 hit points, armor class of 17. Ooh, incapacitated in an area of anti-magic field, or if targeted by dispel magic. Must succeed on a saving throw, or falls unconscious for a minute. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. This is what we're going to go with. But what we're going to say is that it's wielded by our lieutenant. Flying sword, wielded by the lieutenant, the wizard lieutenant. All right. Now, the forbidden lover, are Githzare. I don't think we need a full character sheet on this character. Let's go. I think we could, if we go to our monster manual, we could just maybe just be able to use this stat. Gith Githzare. There we go. Challenge rating 2. But this isn't something our players are likely to fight unless things go bad, which is always an option. Alright, so let's make a note that this Forbidden Lover is a Githzari monk from the monster manual. And this person was infected by the Were-Tiger. Do we want this person already infected or under the threat of being infected? I think it might be better because we need something to drive the centaur against the characters. So if our forbidden lover is already infected, then that's there's nothing that can be done, right? And the centaur paladin is going to side with that character, regardless. So if it's already infected, that means it's guaranteed to turn against the players. If the Forbidden Githzari lover is not infected, then there's more opportunity for the players to intervene, and then we lose that false ally betrayal. So let's have it already infected. The Githzari lover is already infected, but we haven't encountered this character yet. Probably because we haven't encountered the Were-Tiger, and the Were-Tiger may have been taking this character out to train. Let me get you used to how this shifting works, how we hunt. Kind of like a mama tiger would teach her cubs how to hunt and survive and such. And we don't see these two characters until the like towards the end, perhaps maybe of this scenario. Yeah, yeah, that's going to be it. And okay, this is going to be good because now our players might think that the Githzari is the main antagonist because here's the Were-Tiger, but in truth, no, we haven't met the real Were-Tiger yet. I mean the main Were-Tiger yet. Okay, so let's kind of notate some of that. sequence. Now we're gonna go a little out of order because we do got to go back and kind of cover how we get here. So Paladin and players go to find and rescue the Githzari lover, forbidden lover. I guess at this point it's not forbidden. I mean, the Githzari's already been told not to come back home, and is stuck here on this world, so maybe not so forbidden anymore. Okay, discover Githzari lover churned. Githzari convinces Paladin to join. They churn against the players. And our wizard lieutenant is likely here, but not the main antagonist. Now, to keep the fight from going crazy, what we're going to say is our Githzari hasn't fully mastered the transformation yet. Like you can tell that it's there. Like he or she will like attempt to transform. And when they turn the paladin against the players, but it won't work. Like they just haven't mastered it yet. So they'll have to we'll use the stat blocks of the Githzari monk in this fight. So Githzari cannot churn yet, willingly, but can see that she is infected, that is infected. Haven't decided what it is yet. And we'll fight as Githzari monk stat block. So we'll have this paladin, we'll have a Githzari monk, and we will have the wizard lieutenant in this situation. And we might even want to set up a thing where it's the wizard who gets them out there somehow, or the wizard who sets things up. Like, because this is an investigator, this is a divinator, so she's going to be maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead of the players because she's got that advantage of being able to divine and such. Okay, so yeah, this will be good. Now this is where we're going to wrap up. Now we do have more work to do on this. We kind of got to get things a little more lined up evenly. Explain how this is going to connect to the rest of the story. But Act Two usually doesn't take as much time as Act One because now the players have direction, they have focus, and they're like moving through things pretty quickly. And we're gonna tie all this in next episode as far as how we get to that scene where we got that fight. All right, friends. Well, thanks for hanging out, and it's Friday, so I hope you all have an awesome weekend. And I'll talk to y'all later. Take care.